Oh snap, we're on Twitter. That's what's up. Alright, so it looks like everything is working except for me tell people what they can't watch this on. So that's useful information, right? So if you're watching on Facebook, it doesn't look like Facebook's connecting right now. Um, I don't know how to make it connect to a Facebook. Please restart your broadcast if you want to change the settings. Okay. So I'm not going to do that. So Facebook, you're out of luck. I will upload the video after the fact, I guess. So I'm going to start from scratch in this video. I know you're like, oh, why would you start from scratch? I wanted to make a female character. And I already have like Bob Ross. So I was going to make just a female character. And coming up with creative names is a little rough for me. I don't like. What's a good creative name that we go in here? What's Jeff Bezos' ex's name? Let's see if that's already taken. It probably is. Jeff Bezos' ex-girlfriend. Well, I guess it's wife.
Mackenzie Scott.
Mackenzie Scott. Okay. So let's do this thing. I guess that's what I'm gonna go with. Mackenzie Scott. She remarried to like a school teacher. So interesting choice. Like she's worth $1 jillion and she married a school teacher. All right. Anyways, let's just do this damn thing. That's a lucky school teacher, by the way. Yeah. Alright, so I'm not going to play Bobby Norton Ross. I'm going to create a Mackenzie Scott character. Alright, looks like I do have a friend on this server. So if you guys want to come kill me, feel free. Stream sniping is welcome and encouraged on this platform. So I'm going to try to enter this world. Yeah, I understand. One character, one deal. Okay, so I'll let the intro for that. The rats are alive. Believe me, I haven't seen a rat. So the rats are alive. And when you go into a bar, there's NPCs don't hang out in the bar or something like that.
The stories you've heard, they don't tell the whole truth. The island is indeed the place of legend. There's power and vast riches as well. But those who've gone before you have simply vanished, never heard from again. I saw the horror, the madness that overcame the crew. It was beyond any evil the world has ever known. How I survived, I do not know. The contents of this box are not of this world. They will guide you to that one, wherever and whatever that may be. Go then, Captain. Chart your course and your fate. I will say a prayer for the souls of your crew.
I'm gonna make a really good speed sniper thing. I'm gonna see if my hand is turning audio. Here goes that question. Oh, green hand. You know it's gonna be intimidating? A bird on my cheek. Some eye makeup. It's bloody eye makeup. Red, yeah, like I've been black, like I've been crying a lot. I've been no mountain thing in this game. Constantly crying. Yeah, I don't know. These are all really bad tattoos. One stand out from the other one. Like, this has to be the worst tattoo now. They're all pretty bad. A white tattoo is like lighter than my skin tone. That's interesting. Let's go with skin tone dark. A white tattoo. Ooh, I could be an old hag. Oh, nice. Let's get better. An old bearded hag. What do you guys think? It's the pretty on character for me. Good lady. Let's see what kind of hairstyle we want to give her. I wish we could zoom in. That's pretty good. I'm not sold on the tattoo. I might have to change the tattoo. They're all pretty bad, these tattoos. We're gonna go purple team again? Maybe green team? No. Okay, face paint. That looks about right. It's such a rough decision. Character creation is so limited. A big triangle on my face. There's no blue though. There's only purple. Yeah, yellow or orange. I don't remember. I think green. That's the thing about oh. Okay, so that's kind of the kit. I think I want to give her a beard too, like facial hair. Just so people know, don't mess with this broad. The bearded lady over here. Purple beard? Ooh. That does look pretty cool. Amish. That's okay. She's pretty ugly. Scruffy. Fucking like subtle. Oof. Not subtle at all. Charlie spends a lot of time with the beard department. Trying to figure out what we're into. I think the bushy beard. Bushy beard is the best. I'm not sure. So yeah, it doesn't look like we're gonna be able to work this out on Facebook. Okay, giant stars. But that's okay. We're on Twitter, so man, that's pretty cool. I thought Periscope was in forever, but they just changed it up. Ah. Oh, that's tempting. Man, all this weird and tempting. I'm gonna leave PvP on and see if people don't just instantly murder me for looking ugly. That's the thing, like Korean games, like you're ugly, if you make your character ugly, let's see, PvP, okay. So many haircuts. Not really, we could have. Oh man, this we're going places now. A balding, bearded lady. Red and purple hair. Can we do pink? No. If I get white hair. For me, I think we're there. We're almost there. You guys think black corners? Be us. Maybe I should make it prettier in the face. Like, used. Oh, there we go. Purple, that's. Yeah. Then we join the syndicate. Purple hair. The hair. Green hair. Get some scars. Let's see what we have. Such a little weird decision, huh? Yeah, it works. Do the Amish look, huh? Eh. Here's the liquor. Oh yeah, let's get this coloration. That's let's do another color so we can blue's pretty. I'm not gonna have it people look at this character. I want them to do a double take. Why are you so cool? It's not brand new. I was going for something a little bit like bearded lady. Ooh, yeah. Fu Manchu. Yeah, let's go with that. I want to spend all day picking the character. See if my name's taken. It might be. Nope. Mine. You cannot change your character's name or appearance after this point. Yeah, that's a pretty shitty thing. I should really let you. Of all the things you can re-roll. Check It does look like there is a viewer on arc.ok.ur. So I will be turning PvP on as soon as possible. I will be skipping.
Jimenez says, there's strength in numbers and that's why you only have 2 territories. I want Catgirl says, DPS LFG Amreen, have orb. Jack K says, any PvP. Delbert Fisters says, anyone want to do Caminus? DJ Laser Shark says, literally just flag. Bucket Bridge says, well sure, but this isn't
So,
that.
we're gonna skip the
Jack K says, I stay flagged, no PvP though. Bucket Fridge says, don't be scared. Bucket Fridge says,
We're just gonna let
come
whoever
talk
wants
shit
to
out
kill
here
us.
man.
Kill
Days
us.
Wave says,
That's fine.
LMAO. Scooby says, why all this hate?
I don't know. Dude, I heard the chat's pretty toxic.
Bucket Fridge
Maybe.
says, don't want to smoke in first aid around. Dark Angel 79 says,
Alright, so
you're willing
first
to talk
thing
crap when you have
want-
superior numbers, but as soon as we get a
first
handful
thing
of
we wanna
people
do-
together
Whoa!
you cower.
It's
So
all
you wait
yellow.
for more.
Holy
Don't
crap,
talk
this
crap
is-
if you're not going to back it up. ReINX says, I'm on stand. B1GP3RM says, LFM Malevolence Elites. Goose Lord says, I bet I could beat you in tic-tac-toe IRL at Dark Angel 79. Scooby says, I honestly feel bad for Toast. Nugsworth 4XX says, sounds more like high school sports where the school that's bigger typically wins cause more people. Yersinia Pesky says, 1v1 me dig dug right now, you won't. Body Counts says, LOL. Scooby says, they will have no one to attack or defend against once everyone's first off LMAO.
Alright, so that's a talk-
DJ Laser Shark says, oh, so
got
scared
two
of repair
first
costs. It's just a
Round
game.
rats say
Damn it.
name's Lynch.
Bartholomew
Well,
Healy says,
it's a pleasure to meet you.
Dark
Even under
Angel
such
79
ugly
says,
circumstances. Wherever you come
you
from,
probably
it's
could.
lost here.
hell you might
This
even
is
beat
your
me
home.
here.
Eternal.
But I at least have a sense
Isle
of
of
honor
treacherous
and
shores
pride
and lost memory.
I don't hide behind
As
numbers.
it was in the old world.
Drone 4 says, hello. Yersinia Pesky says, imagine having a sense of honor over pixels. Yersinia Pesky says, it's a video game. Go outside.
Alright, we got 2 attributes. I think I'm gonna focus on strength for this character. Becomes real super strong and dexterity. Dexterity and strength. I guess I'm
Koja says, anyone want to group up for Mangled Heights? Working on the Great Axe quest line there. Flint Beastwood says, any invasion grinds?
just want to see what it looks like. Put on the shoes. Take off these shorts. Oh yeah, beautiful. That's how we're rolling.
Town project upgrade loom to tier 4 is completed in First Light. Goose Lord says, nice job First Light. Goose Lord says, thanks for the upgrades. Goomba Gang says, dealer LFG Amreen. Hans Frank says,
So since I'm
that was
more of
fun.
a PvE type of gal, I'm going to.
Dark Angel 79 says, you took too long, got too much attention.
You see, I have to walk all the way to the other point up there. That's where I want.
Drone 4 says,
Oh, it has an incoming war? Jeez, what bad timing. But either
Goose
way,
Lord
whoever
says,
wins, I'll join
y'all,
that faction.
I purchased an office shari instead of a gaming chair. Goose Lord says, and holy crap, best decision ever. Ended at 2 says, defiled leather boots of the cavalier, profane coat of the occultist, profane gloves of the knight, defiled helm of the mage, WTS 300 for all.
Oh man, maybe I should be done.
Barry says, at Herman. Yersinia Pesti says, gaming chairs are for Twitch sponsorships, office chairs are the shit. Steel Fox says, at Goose Lord what brand? Drone 4 says, XD. Dark Angel 79 says, you can talk all the crap you want and hide behind toes. Goose Lord says, hold up at Steel Fox, I'll get it. Entidat 2 says, life staff of the artificer WTS5. Scooby says, office chair gang. Dark Angel 79 says, why don't you switch to purple and see what happens? Goose Lord says, home fun ergonomic exec office chair. Lechuius says, LFGGC corruptions runs. Goose Lord says, thank you Daddy Bezos. Dark Angel 79 says, you talk big game for being a lapdog for toast. Scooby says, if you use a gaming chair you probably disrespect women. Koja says, anyone want to group up for Mangled Heights? Great Axe quest line there. Skylinazzy says, Goose Lord says, I'm talking to at Dark Angel 79. Diversity of says, yourself. Goose Lord says, it seems like it. Just making sure he is okay. Diversity of says, he's doing that thing where you have an argument in the mirror. Silencer says, I can off-tank one of the dogs. Goose Lord says, practicing for some role I assume. Says, sometimes I get a little regret for not picking a better name, but then I realize at least I'm not named Dark Angel 79 LMAO. Goose Lord says, Up says, are there quests for Dynasty Shipyard, and if so what level can you start getting them? 55? Ace says, boom. Goose Lord says, at least you're not Goose Lord. Eli Morn says, chunk of Adderstone, winky face. Tanner says, or a hotel. Raddington says, ayaya. Yersinia Pesti says, come on Bigfoot, he has a family. Koja says, should get them by then. Yeah. I think the main quest, there is one from the local town and one on the docks. Real says, I hate my name. I just wanted to steal it from Addie's real one. Koja says, the docks one is repeatable. Up says, think you can get M at 52. Minute Rice says, just need a name where a company pays you to have it. No one's gonna take my character seriously. Koja says, Oh, I am not sure. I think I was 53 plus when I showed up there. Goose Lord says, I have Azov acolytes. Goose Lord says, because I like alliteration. Goose Lord says, and roleplay.
So it looks like whatever server you pick for this child's going to be just a shot.
Yersinia Pesty says, this is the Bud Light Red Bull Beats by Great Chat. DJ Laser Shark says, extreme range protection. Dominican says, there's a 10% bonus to XP from marking yourself for PvP worth getting chased down and murdered by level 40 somethings as a level 20. Yersinia Pesty says, sponsored by Norton. Goose Lord says, any portal groups going? Von Dragon says, anyone need to kill Papa Bear at Gran's place? Scooby says, Trash Panda love the name LOL. Trill69 says, YOLO. Trash Panda says, smiley face. Yersinia Pesty says, it is because most level 40s can't kill themselves, let alone anyone else. So it's free XP. Tank says, heals LFG Amreen have orb. Hans Frank says, looking for 3 people for Davis.
Oh man.
Need tank and
That
DPS.
sucks.
Goose Lord says, at Hans Frank invite.
Well, let me respond over at this settlement.
Dark Angel 79 says, that was fun. Least we didn't run in like cowards when we started to lose.
I think that
Swift says, anyone for
no.
selfless
That
nature.
does not help. I have to start over from the beginning. Alright, this might be a bit harder than I originally thought.
Yersinia Pesty says, I hate when I start to lose, really sucks. Scooby says, asterisk lose. DJ Laser Shark says, I'll watch out, the mirror's back. Koja says, lose what? Scooby says, LMAO. Yersinia Pesty says, gotta do those stretches. Jmina says, dog water.
I know they want me to do the newbie quest, but
Koja says, when you lose as you
really
are
don't want
driving
me to
home,
do it.
that is the worst. So
They're
close,
so far
yet
out
so
of the
far.
way of everything. Apply to do that.
Ace Real One says, dog water. D.I.O. Normal says, honestly, fun scrimmage COB. See y'all around LOL. Ace Real says, water dog. Beavis says, proof. Jmina says, dog water kid. Mr. Odism says, a DUI. Silver Cursor says, I love getting footage of the COB beating marauders up, smiley face. Goose Lord says, kid water dog. Yersinia Pesty says, the worst is when you're bungee jumping and you lose, that's always a bad time. Skylinazy says, WTS and more price. Pinchin says, legend of the water dog. Abraham Lincoln says, what harvesting LVL does Dragon Glory Recordings? Koja says, leaves all over your own head.
There we go.
Sad face. DJ Laser Shark says, chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water. Best album that decade.
He's a little guy.
Saluda says, LFG for selfless
He's
nature.
a little guy. He's a big
Von
guy.
Dragon says, anyone need to kill Papa Bear in Gran's place? Yersinia Pesty says, loose all over your own head asterisk. Hans Frank says, looking for tank for depths. Koja says, of course, minus 8. Ended at 2 says, tough. WTF Jeff says, need tank depth. It's Crisp says, NP. Ham Radio says, Nickelback is awesome, I love toxicity. Cornelius Vander says, 56 DPS LFG Dynasty. Ham Radio says, David Draymond singing is beautiful. Jmina says, green is dog water.
Wow.
Koja says, what? No. Koja says, you stop that at Ham Radio. WTF Jeff says, green is the new meta. Luerder says, my dog's water is green.
Oh, massive.
DJ Laser Shark says, you need to take better care of the dog. Tanakh says, LFM depths.
Don't get me, don't get me.
Barry says, DPS depths. Urder says, what? Ham Radio says, I love the guitarist's solo album, AC/DC Greatest Hits. Tanakh says, LF Tank and Healer depths. Urder says, he's happy and healthy, he loves chasing the cows. Reverend says, LF free for scorched minds. Urder says, maybe ask, why is green? Hans Frank says, LF Tank depths. WTF Jeff says, need tank depths. Salutas says, LFM selfless nature quest, smiley face. Skylinazzy says, WTF sliver of Adderscone PM or price. The Lethal Sheep says, DPS LFG Starstone. Koja says, LFG Mangle Heights. Jazz Cloud 9 says, 5 gold. Jazz Cloud 9 says, stop, link with tongue sticking out.
Probably
DJ Laser Shark says, green dog water turns into yellow dog pee. Skylinazzy says, you did. Skylinazzy says, you didn't PM me. Skylinazzy says, pleasant crowd. 6 Stray King says, I can do that. Tanakh says, LF Tank for Healer depths. Uncle Stevie says, DPS LFG Dynasty.
Mom's over here. Dirt flow.
Lurker says, well you didn't link the item, so it's not for sale. Swiss Hardball says, LFG depths tank LVL 47. River says, LF2 more for short check lines need a tank. Skyline says, I'm lazy. Tanakh says, LF tank depths. Lurder says, it's faster to link than type it out with brackets. Scooby says, it's so ironic Syndicate owns Weaver's Fen.
I needed to get from here to
Skylinazzy says, I didn't type it out, I used up arrow to repeat chat message. Skylinazzy says, I didn't type it out, I used up arrow to repeat chat message. Koja says, LFG. Lurder says, oh, you're COV, that explains it. Ace Real says, why is it called invincible if you can still see it? Skylinazzy says, I love paste. Medney says, the It's Gone episode of South Park just came on and all is right in the world. Daffy says, LFM Dynasty. God I hate this game says, this chat be like, to-do list bread solved. Von Dragon says, anyone else for Papa Bear, or would like to help at Grand Place? Rivern says, need to for Scorched Minds need tank. Mike Hentithon says, because invincible equals / invisible. WTF Jeff says, LF tank depths. Ibram says, LVL 52 and 30 DPS LFG Emry. Skylinazzy says, they all at Xbox 360 because when you see it you do a 360 and walk away LOL. Ace Real says, yes so why can I still see it? John B says, 180 asterisk dummy. Scooby says, if you do a 360 you are facing the same direction.
That's very.
Tug says, got him coach. Original VNM says, 56 DPS LFG Dynasty. Mike Hentithon says, because you smell like deer ankles. Original VNM says, 56 DPS LFG Dynasty. Scooby says, tough night has Scott. Mr. Otism says, OMG, is anyone out there? Ruben says, LF2 for Scorched Minds. Daffy says, LF Tank and DPS Dynasty. Fast Clap says, INV me to GC Portal Group please. Skylinazy says, that's literally 2010 big. Skylinazy says, I don't know why you fall for it. Scooby says, how much did you pay for your LVL 6 account? Scooby says, I know you didn't do that yourself. Cornelius Vander says, 56 DPS LF Dynasty. Skylinazy says, you're so salty holy. 6 String King says, if it's 2010 bait why are you still saying it? Grow up. Smitty Uchiha says, salt is bad for your health. Scooby says, this is so sad LMAO. Skylinazy says, why are you drinking water bro, that shit was invented so long ago. DJ Laser Shark says, it's called Xbox 360 because it capped at 360 FPS. Salutis says, LFM Selfless Nature Quest. 281 says, salt is good for my gold, that shit's expensive here. Skylinazy says, it's outdated FR. Scooby says, GL with life, Scott. Smitty Uchiha says, only Crystal Life. Skylinazy says, tut. Old Fuego says, I miss my original Xbox. Leroy Jenkins 15 says, 45 DPS Low Devils. Yersinia Pesti says, it's called an Xbox 360 because you turn around 360 degrees and walk away. Skylinazy says, true. Scooby says, an asterisk. DJ Laser Shark says, if you keep walking long enough, it becomes a way. Yersinia Pesti says, no you. Scooby says, good luck Yersinia. Skylinazy says, Scooby is mad because I beat him in heads up 7-up in 6th grade LOL. As Mask says, if you turn 360 you will be back at the Xbox. Yersinia Pesti says, carrot. Tanner says, walk past it.
Welcome to the everlasting
Scooby
torch.
says,
We are
Sky is
always
having a
burning
tough
for
time
you.
tonight.
You here to check in?
Skylinazy says,
Be my guest.
I want a weapons plushie for your
Literally.
tate. Don Babe says, gross. Skylinazy says, used to soak that thing in milk and suck it back out. Don Babe says, gross. Pato says, wait. Tigger says, LOL when the cartoon characters make sense and the real people don't. Von Dragon says, nice try. A Filthy Casual says, is the amber gem still bugged? Like is the cut green version of the amber giving more than the blue version? Cold Fuego says, my nephew loved webkins. Bought so many so he CS and used them on that site. Indigo says, how do you find gems? DJ Laser Shark says, just glad I chose the shitpost server. Big Amoeba says, mining/dungeons. Crazy Hammer says, healer LFG Starstone. Rajay says, just minute away amigo. Gesticular says, LMAO. Skylinazy says, who's shitposting? Skylinazy says, this is high level conversation. Classic JWG says, Nigo says, what do you have to mind? Yersinia Pesti says, I take offense to that, this server is a server of culture. Ace says, at a filthy casual let me know if you find out. I'm wondering the same. Goose Lord says, what? Yersinia Pesti says, truly a meeting of the minds. A filthy casual says, yes he'll test it at Israel. Nabil says, I've been well beyond a 6k plus. Cold Fuego says, iron and silver for flaw gems. Salukas says, LFM a selfless nature quest, PM for INV. Israel says, I was supposed to test it earlier. Forgot. Fancy Ansi says, LF heals and DPS for Mangled Heights Elite Zone. Nigo says, okay thanks. Rajay says, anyone know why I'm trying to get more the veil from the south and region is locked? Old Fuego says, gold for regular and some higher rarity. Notvik says, gems drop from all ores depending on your mining level and mining luck. Laverne says, LF2 for scorched mines. White ONI says, White ONI has reached level 10. V1GP3RM says, LFG Malevolence elites. Notvik says, you can also get them out of chests. Indigo says, thanks for the help guys. Indigo says, Revert says, backslash. Vikamita says, anytime chief. Mo Tarkin says, looking for dad. Delbert Whiskers says, LFG Caminus. Zez says, F you. Zez says, Pastor. Yersinia Pesky says, I told you Mo, I'm getting smokes. This line has lasted 10 years. Milk Drinker says, anyone for Papa Bear? Original DNM says, any corruption groups? Rainstorm says, passive-aggressive wall note WTS 20k. Mo Tarkin says, but dad I'm tired of all mom's uncles coming over. Don Babe says, at Rainstorm give me that. Yersinia Pesty says, why do you think I went for the smokes? Mo Tarkin says, all they do is wrestle all day. Don Babe says, that was from my old roommate. Don Babe says, she was a bitch. Stone cutting table was downgraded in Morningdale. Emplacement points was downgraded in Morningdale. Explosive was downgraded in Morningdale. Tanner says, oof. Rajay says, saw ERP in recruitment chat. Gene Starwind says, oof. Skylinazy says, who's derping? Skylinazy says, can I get next? Rossby says, ERP. Don Babe says, ERP. Mo Tarkin says, ERP. Don Babe says, hello. Skylinazy says, I got next. Don Babe says, no. Don Babe says, begone. Skylinazy says, no. Azriel says, ERP in recruitment chat. Azriel says, nice.
It's level 10.
Yersinia Pesty says, I charge $5 an hour for ERP ASMR. Yersinia Pesty says, EST. Don Babe says, sexy. Skylinazy says, give me 5 HRS. Skylinazy says, first on the list. Z Zenith says, ATM. XXI says, silence before I ERP your dick flattening appointment. Skylinazy says, please do. Don Babe says, oh whoa. Rez says, GG y'all. Honors the DPS king. Rez says, 21-minute invasions, we've almost cracked the code. Don Babe says, hotter up. Don Babe says, needs nerve. Skylinazy says, I'm eager for it, Monday can't come soon enough. Hotter says, hotter, smiley face. Rez says, Skypen coming after that record. Don Babe says, carrot. Scooby says, isn't it trippy how Hotter got his name?
Next one, I'm making a right at Albuquerque here.
Lady Blaster says, Skydman ain't even close, tongue sticking out. Tricky Dave says, WPS word would vow of the ranger, word would vow of the soldier. Dr. Pickles says, DPS LFG devs have work. DJ Laser Shark says, he typed it before other people. Lil Budiclappa says, LF Healer Starsnow. Buzz says, any short mines or sirens stand elite groups. Aseri says, what's happening on Monday? Z Zenith says, stopping at the ATM. Vyurin says, anyone running elites? Spying Psy says, LF Heal Emery. Milk Drinker says, anyone for Papa Bear? Extra Small 11 says, LF Emerine Group.
First couple levels here.
Jiden says, LFG Emerine.
Didn't get through that.
Joss says, N.
Ducking and dodging.
Lava says, LF Starstone. Scooby says, Yo, I will heal. Scooby says, I have been telling you, my friend. 3RM says, LFG Netherlands Elites. RC Hedgehog says, I wish the surf made me chop trees faster. Kajima says, anyone for well guardian. No AI 1337 says, can I come too? I forgot to put the damn diadem at the end, lol. Scooby says, he'll accept in 30 seconds. God, I hate this game says, LF. Black
Such a good
pigment
name, God, I
WNT
hate
to
this
dye
game.
myself black. Anyone know spawns? Jason West says, infused leather adventurer satchel WTS. Scooby says, running to town to teleport. Skylinazzy says, Scooby, I love you.
Goes up, so that's Andre experience right there.
Don Babe says, oh whoa. Scooby says, I love you too, dude. Oscar Meyer says, Il Residential U1 SEC. Skylinazzy says, can I come visit? Don Babe says, at Oscar Meyer I read your name as Obama. Scooby says, PLO whoa. Scooby says, okay I will. Dr. Pickles says, DPSLFG have orb. It's Sammy says, who will. Don Babe says, I may be illiterate.
Maybe.
Buzz says, any short minds or sirens stand elite groups.
And Bang does one movie, yeah. Just so I can check into the town. Anything goes wrong. Looks like there's a couple
Original VNM says, 56 DPS LFG Dynasty.
which is kind of
Skylinazzy says, you may be illiterate but at least you're illiterate, yeah no. Don Babe says, STFU. Salivas says, LFM Selfless Nature Quest, PM me so we can finish the main story quest line, smiley face. Trill69 says, Original VNM says, 56 DPS LFG Dynasty. Skylinazzy says, no. Don Babe says, DW, I mean shut the freak up parent. Skylinazzy says, who's the freak? Don Babe says, wait. Don Babe says, no, you're the Webkins freak. Skylinazzy says, extra small 11 says, DPSLFM re.
redneck zombies.
Don Babe says, Sir Godfrey says, Saturday 3 p.m. EST, everyone is welcome, no faction shame, free entry gold coin prize right now is at 5. Discord JWMGMY80GW. Skylinazzy says, everyone has drank out of their Webkins plush lol. Don Babe says, no. Demo says, infused leather adventurer satchel WTS 20K. Don Babe says, just you. Skylinazzy says, you didn't have one so I know you didn't. Don Babe says, bro. Don Babe says, I had a Webkins. Skylinazzy says, where my Webkins boys at? Skylinazzy says, it was the best way to get a beverage to your mouth. Skylinazzy says, hands down. Cold Fuego says, Club Penguin.
Beard.
Extra small 11 says, DPSLF green. Jack Humbo says, looking for 3 DPS for Dynasty 55 plus. Don Babe says, I have a headache and a test due at midnight that I don't know how to do. Sad face. Wicked Wendy says, anyone need DPS for Starstone? LVL 42. Don Babe says, who's good at statistics? Don Babe says, do my test.
Welcome to the southern breeze. May a gentle wind always guide you.
Says,
Do you wish to
Dolby
check
answers. Skylinazzy says, yeah WTF. Skylinazzy says, just GLOL. CJ Liv says, any groups at now? Aschet says, LFG well guarded. Solita says, LFM a selfless nature main quest, PNU. Aschet says, LFG well guardian. Muddy Blaster says, he'll do your test for tokens. Don Babe says, wait. Frostby says, Frostby says. A Filthy Casual says, A Filthy Casual waves. Dionomal says, they got me LOL. Dionomal says, I'm not even a melee base LOL. Dionomal says, should we just take the FOT? Dionomal says, Ford. Dionomal says, I died with honor and accepted. Dionomal says, in fact, embrace it.
The other guy.
Koala Waifu says,
We're gonna accept the mission from this area.
Mateo de Ampuvia says, can either of you tank? Him So Fancy says, 49 DPS LFG depth.
Starting area.
Conspiracy says, send US the toes. Don Babe says, no toes.
Does he have water?
Don Babe says, I have no toes. B1GP3RM says, LFG Malevolence Elites.
I think we're gonna need
Don Babe says, sorry. Echo Bellic says, WPB a girlfriend. Restoration says, do people actually use Fey Iron? Dr. Pickles says, DPS LFG depths have worked. Town project upgrade explosives to tier 3 is completed in Windsward. Skylinus says, doing anything Echo Bellic is doing but better than him. Corner Thighs says, no. Skin Slurp says, DM at Kieran for tokens. Jack Humbo says, looking for 3 DPS for Dynasty 55 plus. Hogwise Gam G says, I am Girl Firan. Hello. Don Babe says, OOP. Echo Bellic says, at Hogwise Gam G wanna catch a movie. Hogwise Gam G says, no. Don Babe says, GG. Hogwise Gam G says, I need to catch a medium salmon.
The storm that wrecked your ship was caused by an unnatural force known... yes. The merciful thing is to at least attempt to put them to rest. That is part of the reason I am here. It would be better if you could do it.
Warner Guy says, I got one of those in my pants. Rez says, these 5-day tax cycles might creep up on me. Pat the Gamer says, LVL 45 LFM Reen. Conspiracy says, starting toe harvesting group. After supply at least 4 toes. Frostby says, where do you go to buy a house? Don Babe says, wait.
Oh my goodness.
Echo Bellic says, get your money up not your funny up. Skylinasy says, a house is a good start. Shimbot Layton says, I am Uwu girlfriend also. Please give monies for me please. Don Babe says, Don Babe says, I'll give you a house for 50k. Frostby says, can't iron farming. Don Babe says, it's a good deal. Elric Boy says, what's the point of house? Echo Bellic says, at Shinbot Don Babe says, the market is Skylinasy says, hello I am a dog please give me gold. No AI 1337 says, LBL 39 LFG Star Stone. Shinbot Lake says, Hogwise Gam G says, subscribe to my OnlyFans. Only Yosmitos. Conspiracy says, hello M. Chimneys Pro Farmer give me PIV says, 51, tank loaf depths. Ron Babe says, neighborhood is so-so but there's good bones. Zerkness says, LF2 DPS 1 healer depths. Echo Bellic says, depends on what you provide. Skylinasy says, I love when my neighborhood has bones in it. Hogwise Gam G says, toes. Disinclined says, need 1 DP for Starstone. Don Babe says, many bones. Conspiracy says, toe bones. Don Babe says, no. Zerkness says, LF1 DPS 1 healer depths. Pravik says,
There now.
glass bones.
I hope that wasn't
Don
too
Babe
difficult.
says,
Some have trouble confronting the
Conspiracy
soulless
says,
ones.
glass
Of course. Wood's easy enough to gather from bushes around
healer depths.
Wood's easy.
Skylinus, he says, you guys ever seen that movie where the Chad drinks milk out of a Webkins plushie? Don Babe says, no. Skylinus, he says, I'm still working on it, that's why. Don Babe says, Skylinus says, next summer stay tuned. Disenflon says, LF1 DPS for Starstone, already have orb. Don Babe says, it's gonna fly. Graham says, yo, who did I just do Starstone with LMFAO? Dana4 says, right here. Ryan says, it's about drive, it's about power. Slay Graham says, man, I fucking crashed at the last chest deep. Rich says, anyone on the quest guarding the secrets? Z Zenith says, will DPS Starstone. Dana4 says, damn. Zerkness says, LF1 healer depths. Dana4
Well
says,
done, my friend. You've been careful.
Don Babe says,
Those boars
I
can put
gotta
up
do
quite
my
a
test
fight.
fight. Wink with a
I
frown.
can assure
Bob
you that your
Hensman says,
reward will be a
THX.
fine meal, however.
Skylinus, he says, don't fail. Skylinus, he says, or you can't come back. Aschet says, LFM for Well Guardian. Don Babe says, SH. B1GP3RM says, LFG Malevolence Elites. Aschet says, LFM for Well Guardian. Scrubluck says, dear. We are going to start pushing on Morningdale. PvP missions are go. Skylinus, he says, this is a chat for learned scholars. Zerkness says, LF1 healer depths. PID says, 51 tank loaf depths. MR Busena says, 55 tank LFG for dynasty, have orb. Buzz says, LFG siren stand elites. Saint Yejus says, 53 DPS LFG for dynasty, have orb. CJ Lee says, LFM Malobeds. Zerkness says, LF1 healer depths. QDHO says, also looking for sirens. Imso Fancy says, 49 DPS LFG depths. Blitz says, WTS schematic, Stone Ren schematic, Veil Piercer. Syncrux says, LF healer and DPS for sirens. Zerkness says, LF1 healer depths. Syncrux says, elites.
Because I wanted to move location, grinded even slower. Whatever, 20 minutes walking over here.
Aschet says, last call for Well Guardian leaving in 3 minutes. Aschet says, last call for Well Guardian leaving in 3 minutes. Jack K says, any GC corruption groups. B1GP3RM says, LFM Malevolence Elites.
Mining and logging.
Shred the Sim says, GF.
Pig won't come and give it to me. Oh, you should be able to use that hatchet. One of the 2 hatchets, you know? Like a weapon hatchet and then like a logging hatchet.
The Grinch says, LFG for depths, I have more.
Careful. Those boars can put up quite a fight. I can assure you that your reward will be a fine meal, however.
QDHO says, LF healers and DPS siren suck. Monders says, LFG Dynasty DPS slash range. Trill69 says, OMG. Trill69 says, that was close AF. LF1 healer depths. Trill69 says, GG.
Nicely done. It may seem simple enough, but both boar hunt. This beach is not a hospitable place. Your ship was just one of... Indeed, indeed. Sounds at first like one has arrived in paradise, does it not? It's the Blue Azov, a power greater than even death. You must still be wary though. Some people die anyway, or worse.
DPS. Aschet says, last call for Well Guardian leaving in imminently. MR Bluesena says, LF1 DPS and G2G, Dynasty. Zerkness says, at the Grinch you want an INB. Skylines says, WTS liver of Adderstone PM your price. The Grinch says, yes. MR Bluesena says, LF1 DPS and G2G, Dynasty. The Grinch says, I have the orb. C4PTT41NT says, can someone help me kill Marcus at Perryville? Trill69 says, not yet, my boy went away for the weekend so I'm waiting for him. B1GP3RM says, LFM Malevolence Elites. Omniscience says, need 260 DPS for Garden of Genesis. Trill69 says, wanna do this one with me and two my boys. Demo Urge says, if someone farms me 10k fiber it'll give you 1k gold. Synfrux says, now for Siren Elites have tank need healer and a DPS. He says, Shade Walker Mask of the Scholar Shade Walker Rogue of the Scholar WPS. Turkness says, LF1 DPS. Ross Beach says, LFG Songs end. It's Moosey says, schematic, Thunder's no WTS. Obi-Wan says, LVL 42 tank LFG response. Says, LFG for scorched lines. Syncrux says, LFM for Siren Elites have tank new healer and a DPS. Zerkness says, All Linity says, LF1 healer dynasty. Ross Booch says, LFM Skisong's den. Quest in Evan scale. Him so fancy says, 49 DPS LFG depths. He says, WTS liver of Adderstone PM no price. Rich says, where is T1? Says, I think they're waiting. Terminus says, LF1 healer depths. Indigo says, how do I get soul mode? GP3RM says, LFM Malevolence Elites. Xavier says, Reds. Xavier says, Soul Flowers. Syncrux says, LFM for Siren Elites have tank need healer and a DPS. Onion Ring says, anyone for Heart of Darkness. Dark Ghost 32 says, LF1M healer dynasty. Syncrux says, LFM for Siren Elites have tank need healer and a DPS. Champila says, bro, I've been trying to find a soulmate for 47 years. Circus says, LF1 healer depths. Saucy Abraham says, anyone running Dynasty DPS. Yersinia Testy says, I bought mine on wish.com.
Like the manifest.
Gene Starwind says, got my mail order via Amazon. Siren Scandalese. Well, Target says, Day 12093110293 of the odd on Dunning event glitch still going. Das Wooch says, LFM Skisong Quest in Evan scale. Leonis Lem says, DPS Zerkis says, LF1 healer depths. Das Wooch says, they fixed that. Don't you read Moke Tarkin says, don't you read my screen that still hasn't. Dark Ghost 32 says, LF1M healer dynasty. B1GP3RM says, LF2M malevolence elites, need a healer. Das Wooch says, obvious sarcasm is obvious. Moke Tarkin says, Highly. Das Wooch says, smooches. Zerkness says, LF1 healer depths. Drone 4 says, XD. Moke Tarkin says, hoo-woo. The Lethal Sheep says, yo. Obi-Wan says, LVL 42 tank LFG for Starstone. Elric Boy says, small indie company them time. Zerkis says, LF1 DPS 1 healer. University of SB says, this is the best MMO made by a small mob and University of SB says, I've got big hopes. Trot says, forming SM Elite clear at Mountain Home, going once we have picked. Leonis Lem says, I'm DPS send invite. Blitz says, WTS Snow Red Schematic, Veil Piercer. Hogwise Gam G says, Art Flesh WTS 1 billion gold. Zerkness says, LF1 healer depths. B1GP3RM says, LF2M malevolence elites, need a healer. Blitz says, WTS schematic, Stone Red schematic, Veil Piercer. Das Wooch says, LFM Skisong's end, quest in Evan scale.
I'm not gonna do any of this.
CJ Liv says, LFM healer plus tank for DPS 60 elites. Trot says, LFM for SM Elite Clear, Mines, Mercard, and Chemicals. Zerkness says, LF1 healer depths. Skydman says, doing a thread of life need tank. B1GP3RM says, LF2M malevolence elites, need a healer. Silencer says, that blight debuff is no joke WTF. Trill69 says, okay no healing this time. Trill69 says, LOL.
Be level 3 and come over here. So yep, that's pretty much the
Trot says, LFM for SM Elite Clear, Mimes, Mercard, and Caminus. Trill69 says, B1GP3RM says, LF2M Malevolence. Trill69 says, yeah, he's resetting. Kaido says, tank and line. Zerkness says, LF1 healer depth. I says, anyone for him run. Extra small 11 says, LF
Oh, I do. Number 3. There we go.
Original VNM says, 57 DPS LFG Dynasty or Depths. Sammy says, LFG Emery. Trot says, LFM for SM Elite Clear, Mines, Mercard, Forming and Mountain Pump. YYRD says, Duck. Anyway says, GC Portal Group Southeast. Zerkness says, LF2M Malevolence Elites. Spying Sun says, FG DPS Emery. Tripch says, Recipe. Rack says, Sewer. Motarkin says, that depends on how many carrots you can fit up your ass. Fuzz says, room for 1 DPS Siren Stand Elites. Motarkin says, carrot. Zerkness says, LF1 Healer Depths.
These stupid Alright, we're getting there. We're looking dumber and dumber every... Ooh. Could be... Some people aren't confused by my gender.
Rookut says, is there a tier 5 smelter?
Yo, I got a gun? When did I pick up a gun? Or a life staff? Jeez.
Trot says, LFM for SM Elite Clear, Mines, Mercard, and Caminus, forming at Mountain Home.
Let me put my gun. Sword or shield. Hey, where's my block? Blocking right there. Is it a flag or is it just
Dragon says, we don't use ass in this chat, we prefer prison pocket. Zerkness says, LF1 healer deaths.
talk to where'd that guy go?
Katronida says, I'm down. Father Funky says, it's prison wallet. Death Tugboat says, LVL 45 DPS
That blocked the hood.
Seacat says, who are you? Felix says, so who is going to take my head? I need a ride. Silencer says, WTF. Silencer says, anyone want to do Motherwell? LMFAO. Rookut says, Tut. Yam says, WTS ancient fairing at PM. Conspiracy says, bro, you're completely correct. How crassively. How many carrots can you carry in your prison wallet?
Controller input has nothing to do with that.
Lord Pandaman says, what's the difference between siphoning and siphoning blow?
Always play on the low pop people.
Yersinia Pesti says, are we talking vertical or horizontal?
Ah, well done.
78 says,
These records serve as both an archive, unfortunately, that we must. I hoped you might volunteer.
Says,
Though I have some misgivings about sending a new arrival.
Says, we're starting
I suspect the corruption may be lingering in a nearby sea cave. Check there, but be cautious.
Small Cow says, he'll give you 999 for it.
Gotta make him count here.
Ted says, he'll give 999 for it. Bellic says 999. Akio says 999.99 years. Bellic says, oh. Chief Tank says, I fold. Original BNM says, anyone wanna buy some discounted pristine gems? Small Cal says, 999. Greenwood. Slam says, 999.999. Silencer says, NFL Guardian is not my ass. Silencer says, I was not expecting that at all. Echo Bellic says, 1K. 0.00001. Ursini Pesti says, how many Sonic coins could you fit in your prison wallet code? Silencer says, I had like Trill 69 says, LOL. I'm so fancy says, for the PSLFG devs.
Ooh, a hat. Let's put on a hat. Well, let's hurry up. I think he's gonna respawn for real. There we go.
Rupert says, anyone trying to do GC Mangled Heights just need a tag.
Nice, like low key, but nice to me because I know bees. Do this way. Hold on. Okay, let's pull the heel now. Food here.
Well now, someone has proved yes. I'll remain here and help any other survivors who come ashore. Take the message to Overseer Dottie. And good luck, my friend.
Man, we don't like wheels in this.
Orphan says, 50 DPS low G depths.
You totally missed that thing. There you go.
VNM says, 57 DPS LFG Dynasty or depths. SKYY Ardenine says, Yeouch. Original VNM says, 57 DPS LFG Dynasty or depths. Barry says, LF Bang Snap.
I don't even remember what the yellow thing is, but that's probably what Yo, yellow. Since they only have 90%.
Players for Starstone.
Like, there's no incentive to join the
Saucy
losing
Abraham
side.
says,
Here.
52 Dynasty DPS.
Everything costs more if you just want to pick the losers. I guess with PvP here, you don't.
Sensei Hoops says,
They don't want
looking for people to join Corruption Southside FedGC /.
I'm level 7, so yeah, we're not going to make it to PvP time. But next time, you're here with me next time, we'll definitely make it.
My Orphan says, 50 DPS low G depths. Jax00 says, I and B for corruption.
Good. Once again, sorry about the Facebook thing. I'll try to reconnect to my account.
Silencer says, LFG Well Guardian LOL.
As of now, it's just not working.
Skylinasy says, LOL.
Alright, so that's 300 meters. This is 160.
Xavian says, DPS looking for diamond. Kashima says, Boop Silencer yo just doing ET. Bamboo Pandaz says, need to Ace Real says, is the portal group Silencer says, damn, I went to make some tacos at Kashima. Spartan Farton says, selling 850 fire wisps DM me. Elric Boy says, Corruption Brightwood LVL 35 anyone? Him So Fancy says, 49 DPS LFG depths. Jax00 says, LFGGC portal group. Daddy Liberty says, market still all fucked up WTH. Allah's Internet says, about to do Eridanus if anyone wants to join.
Unless you really like grinding. $2? You guys have $2 out here?
Tyre says,
Scratch themselves at the
46
exact same
DPS
time?
LFG depths.
All their animations are
Zanaver
exactly
says,
the same time?
Zanaver has reached level 29.
Down to their breath, dude.
Broomhild says,
Yeah,
any
there's no
LVL
animation
35
for
portal
that.
GRPS
Like
starting
walking
up.
around, peeing on something.
Awaken says, anyone doing a selfless nature. Silencer says, yeah bro. Silencer says, just me and you at Awaken. Tyre says, LFG depths. Awaken says,
That's good, this bad boy. See, that's why I like this town, because it has a little lake here that you can fish directly in town. I don't know how.
Silencer says, he's strong bro. Jax00 says, where is GC corruption train? Silencer says, you want to know the MF? Orphan says, LFGC portal group. Tyre says, LF players to do depths. Tyre says, LF for healers and DPS. Broomhild says, any LVL 35 portal.
Greetings! Oh, you're quite share the message with Magistrate Kurapati.
Jax00 says, literally said south portals and no one here LOL fail. Schmiskin says, yo WTF, did they optimize the game? My FPS is great right now. Bartholomew Ely says, Bartholomew Ely has reached level 14.
Hello there, and welcome to.
Ravenous
I'm just
says,
grateful to know Tahir is all right.
Xavian says,
I hope you return soon.
DPS looking
If
for
it's
Dynasty.
true that corrupt plenty, check in at the inn and make yourself comfortable. As I said, we're in no rush.
Okay. Yeah, it's already dead. You gotta look where you're going. What do you think about my character? Do you think she looks cool?
A girl with
a beard? Is that silly? That's pretty silly. You ready to go to bed? What do you mean no? Come on, dude.
Tyre says, LF healer for depths.
No, we were so close, guys. I'm sorry that we couldn't get to that. Okay? We were so close, Where's the again? Where's the end? Oh, it's up there.
Baller says, 30 healer LFG.
I do like the little icon there. Maybe I'll make it my company. Yeah, so we're gonna check in today.
Welcome to the Southern Breeze.
MPN
May gentle
says,
wind always
healer
guide you
LFG
up.
Starstone.
Do you wish to check in? We'd be happy to have you.
Trill69 says, GG. Rich says, to the dudes running Dynasty with me, sorry, I got D/C. Spartan Barton says, I also have 1,000
that was
fire posts if
faster than I
anyone wants to
expected.
buy.
Don't even try to tell me.
Scavages says,
You are now officially.
anyone
I
try?
would suggest you start by. The trading post is just there, and the
Silencer
storage shed
says,
is nearby as
anyone
well.
else want to
I
do
would
a
encourage you
selfless
to take
nature?
full advantage.
We have like 4 people already. Tyre says, LF healer for depths. Bao Z says, can't wait to move servers, thanks goes. Tyre says, then we are good to go. Tyre says, we have people. Tyre says, LF healer for depths. Xavian says, yeah we can, I'm just doing town
What?
fort.
I think it's a medium already. Oh, must be right on there. Well, it said like, yo, what put me at medium?
Skylinus he says, selling sliver of Adderstone HMU.
I need light armor,
Imso
guys.
Fancy
I'm
says,
medium
49
stuff.
DPS LFG depths.
When in doubt, take your shirt off, right? How do I look it up? Minute light now? That's good.
MPN Saint says, LVL 39 healer LFG Starstone.
Oh, great, yeah.
Lesbotomy says, Lesbotomy has reached level 22.
What am I wearing? It's heavy. Light gloves, medium chest, medium head. Let's take out the head. Put on light. Oof, still a medium.
Evangelist Y says, you're toast.
That shield, man, that shield always bogs me down, you know? Alright, so that puts me with this is other.
Spartan Farley says, I pretty much own the Dragon Glory Flower Market BTW. Muffin says,
There we go,
Dragoons.
don't even have to wear pants.
Echo Bellic says, at. Spartan Barton says, so should I raise or lower prices? Echo Bellic says, you don't. Gene Starwind
Yeah,
says,
that's not like
MT5 Tannery in
pants,
Cutlass.
eh?
Spartan says, I do. Jack K says, UGC groups. Echo Relic says, I have a lot, just don't care to sell. Skylinazy says, trust me you don't. Spartan Farton says, on the market at least. It's Sammy says, 2 DPS for Emreen LF. Kylo Ryan says, Fonzie anyone? Echo Bellic says, I am the market. Spartan Farton says, so I'm what I'm hearing right now. CJ Liv says, anyone running Malobans? Classic Jada OG says, Classic Jada OG has reached level 57. Spartan Farton says, collude to raise prices? Abraham Lincoln says, is there only one tier 1 house in Morningdale? Skylinazy says, I'm
Well,
sitting on stacks
it
of
seems
flowers
I
and
strongly.
girls.
Oh, I suppose so.
Tony Ravioli
Sometimes one
says,
just knows
Tony
when they're in the
Ravioli
right
has
place.
reached level 42.
Perhaps it's the weather.
Skylinazy says, and Big Snow Chats. Spartan Farton says, buy the market and raise prices anyone? Tyler ES says, send again. Skylinazy says, yeah go ahead. Echo Bellic says, Sky E's. Broomhild says, PPL stop inviting people for your damn quests. When they are wanting portals. Awaken says,
There you are! It's time for us to get to work, my friend. I've decided to start amassing resources, supplies, anything we could. I've decided. Gather the resources and get them refined.
Says, Echo WYDRN.
We'll go to the
Caveman
tavern for
Yeti
a
says,
cup of mead.
yeah. Caveman Yeti says, yeah. Igorpin says, 50 DPS LFG depths. Echo Bellic says, PvP missions. Jax00 says, LFGC portals. Charlena says, LF tank / DPS depths. We have LVL 60 healer.
Bow and arrow.
Tark Bulma says,
I don't know
fuck.
why.
Branker says, LF healer and DPS for Dynasty. Rajay says, what's the gold cap? Skylinazy says, bet, about to do better. Echo Bellic says, 500k. Skylinazy says, 500k. Milkman says, sure. Awaken says, LF more for a selfless nature. MPN Saint says, LVL 39 healer LFG Starstone.
Yeah, there's some.
Rajay says, sick. No I'm 1337 says, portals. Skylinazy says, just hit gold cap 10 minutes ago.
That is pretty cool.
Skylinazy says, been selling water LOL suckers. Awaken says, LF more for a selfless nature. Echo Bellic says, or a god. Spartan Farton says, I've made about 50k so far, probably can't imagine actually making 500. Angrion says, /. Skylinazy says, if you ain't got 3 houses don't talk to me. Echo Bellic says, I'm sitting on 60k RN. Conradi Shot says, are you serious about the water? Elric Boy says, LFM for corruption BWLBL 35. Baller says, the corruption portals. Abraham Lincoln says, yeah I made 50k so far from just FT farm for gold yet trying to get 60. Modern says, is there a zone where people always keep the benches decently upgraded? Ranker says, LF healer and DPS for Dynasty. Gordon says, no BC invasions take down tiers. Spartan Farton says, yeah but seriously imagine having 500 seems almost unreachable. Modern says, gotcha. Echo Bellic says, I've been selling my body. Modern says, and doing town board missions raises them. Spartan Farton says, same. Gordon says, Everfall is generally good though. Saucy Abraham says, DPS for Dynasty. Gordon says, yes. Spartan Farton says, I'm a flower view. Skylinazy says, FR I can find that. Jax00 says, LFGC portals earned. Modern says, ton. Minbar Shah says, what's up Catnip? Duel my buddy. Skylinazy says, Echo hits different. Broomhild says, LVL35 portal group forming in Brightwood. Loomis says, LF tanker and healer for Shattered Obelisk, I have orb. Baller says, what's GC stand for?
Sword and
Echo
shield.
Bellic says, why is taxes 5 days and not 7? Pop Enough says, buying Fire Crystal for. Jax00 says,